Welcome to Truck and Chubby Sports, where we back in our yapping. We ain't never capping. That's a factor. So what's happening?
Not a coach, not a pro, no X's, no O's, just the fans' point of view and what we know. Let's go.
Yo, what up with it? What's cracking with everybody about there, man? I hope that y'all's having a good NFL Sunday and all of that, man. But y'all know I had to come and bring one more. I'm gonna be talking college football all week, so it is what it is. The rankings, some people come out with their rankings, and some people feel like the rankings should be some way, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm arguing against it. I'm gonna pull up the rankings for y'all, and then y'all can kind of play with it. Y'all kind of get a visual of what the rankings look like. I'm probably sure that most of y'all, my football heads that watch the show, because I get a lot of football heads that watch my show. It ain't just a lot of casuals, But I'm working on that. I'm working on the whole presentation and everything else. So let's get it popping. Let's get it going. You heard me? Yes, go. So, in other words, man, I wanted to talk about the 12 teams out of the 134, and then there was 12 that remain undefeated from every single conference in college football, man. I'm talking the American Athletic Conference, the Atlantic Coastal Conference. I'm talking the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, the Conference USA. I'm talking the Independents, the MAC, the Mountain West, the Pac-12, and the Sun Belt. I'm talking all of them. So there's only 12 teams. Out of all of those teams, and I think that's more than 134 because I named the G5s, right? But I'm just saying there's only 12 teams out of all of those conferences that I just named, right? Only 12 remain undefeated, right? So let's start off with those, and then we'll go into the rankings, right? So in the American Athletic Conference, we got Army sitting at 4-0 in the conference. 5-0 overall. Give them a round of applause, y'all. They doing great out there, man. Give them a round of applause, man. The Navy, 3-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall. You know what I'm saying? And the ACC, that's it for the American Athletic Conference. And the American Coastal Conference, the ACC, got Miami sitting at 2-0 in a conference. That's great. They 6-0 overall. What up, Miami? Salute to all my Canes out there. What up with y'all, man? And then we got Pittsburgh. That's crazy. They are playing for Pat Narduzzi, man. They are 1-0 in a conference and 5-0 overall with their latest win coming over at UNC. And don't let me talk, man. Miami had a heck of a comeback, man, against Cal. You know what I'm saying? I thought that they would win by 17. They didn't. They won anyhow. And a win is a win, right? And to come back like that, it says something about your team. So do I believe Miami should be ranked up higher? Absolutely. They hands down have the best quarterback in college football. I don't care what nobody's saying, period, point blank. Cam Ward is the best quarterback in college football, hands down, period. Nobody else, no other quarterback at Miami brings Miami back in that game. He stays cool, calm, collective. He makes all the right decisions. And he plays the game like I got time. Like there's no need to rush. He don't panic, man. And it's something about him. I'll get to talking about Cam Ward after I'm done, going through all the conferences. So in the Big 12, we got BYU at 2-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall. So that's 5 teams so far, right? Y'all staying with me, even though I went off a little track. We got Iowa State. Got Iowa State winning the Big 12. They're 2-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall. That's 6 teams right there. And can you believe it or not, the Big 10 has the most undefeated teams right now. Standing right now in the Big 10 has the most undefeated teams in college football as it stands today, right now. Okay? And let's start off with Indiana, what Kurt Signetti is over there doing with them. That's the old James Madison, you probably could say, with a couple of upgrades. They're sitting at 3-0 in the conference right now, 6-0 overall. No matter how they could lose all the rest 6 of their games, they still outdid their last season. And I'm sure that's not what Kurt Signetti wants. They're going to keep their foot on the pedal, but I'm just saying they're going bowling regardless right now. They locked their bowl game down, and they're the first team to do so in college football. So big round of applause to Indiana and what they able to do over there, y'all. For real, the Hoosiers is balling, man. And I'm sure if you're an Indiana fan, you're very, very happy right now. You deserve to be, man. Now that's what you call a successful, complete turnaround to come in year one to a program, and then you doing what you do, man. That is awesome, man. That's great. All right. Ohio State right now, y'all sitting 2-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall. What's up with them Buckeyes? Giving them a round of applause. Oregon 2-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall right now. So right now, y'all, we sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 teams, including Oregon. Now we got 3 more, y'all. Penn State 2-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall, which is crazy. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. The Conference USA only has 1 undefeated team, and that's Liberty. 2-0 in the conference, 4-0 overall. All right. So that's 11. That's 11. And the last but not least is them Texas Longhorns. Shout out to them Longhorns out there, man. Give them a round of applause, man. 1-0 in the conference as of right now, and they're 5-0 overall, which is, hey, yo, it's not crazy. And they're the only team in the SEC that remains unbeaten. Texas. There is no independence that is undefeated. No, there was nobody in the MAC that's undefeated. No, there was nobody in the Mountain West that's undefeated. No, there was nobody that's in the Pac-12. There's only a couple of teams that's there, but that's still a Pac-12. They still got the 2 teams. None of them's undefeated. No, nobody in the Sun Belt is undefeated. No, it's crazy, y'all. It's going down. It is going down. You hear me? So out of all of these teams that's in those conferences, no matter how you want to slice it up, only 12 remain unbeaten, which is amazing. Y'all. All right. And I mean, Texas said they had a bye week. So we'll see when they come back and what Texas is able to do. I'm sure that Texas will pull it off. We'll see what Liberty about to do. Penn State, you know what I'm saying? They not playing. Maybe they're not playing as sexy as they need to be. Drew Aller has to stay consistent to me. You know what I'm saying? He really does. He has to stay consistent. And let's go back to Texas real quick because I've been lacking on my Texas video like crazy. I don't think I even put one out, but that's because, Really Flawed does such a great job at doing it, man. It's really like intimidating. You know what I mean? It really is. And she's a Texas Longhorn fan. So Texas Longhorn fans, you out there, go check out Really Flawed, the homegirl. It's Really Flawed, just how I said it. You'll see her on there. Go check her out. That's great with Texas, man. And her and Rawhide also got a show to an Impossible, man. I like to shout out my peoples out here, man, in these streets, man. Because if you support me, I'm definitely going to shout you out. And I like to do that, man. Even if people don't do it back, it is what it is. That's just how I am. I'm just me being authentic, me being me. All right, that's Truck and Chub Z. You dig? All right, peace. All right. Oh, yeah, South Coast King got a great little pregame show. You know what I'm saying? For the Miami Hurricanes fans, you want somebody to watch that's authentic, that's real, that's raw. Go and check out South Coast King, man. And my boy Shad. You know what I'm saying? 1419. You heard me? DP, what up? Yo, so I'm like, Texas, Archie Manning got to start, right? He has to start for them. And that is something that has to go. I think that just to me, but I'm a new Texas fan though. So who am I to say that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to say? But I think Arch should start. He's mobile. Quinn Ewers, he gets bumped up all the time. A little older, I know, I get it. But Archie been sitting for a while, and it's not a bad thing. Roll with the hot hand right now. If he gets cold or if he's having a bad game or something like that, you still got Quinn Ewers to go to. So it's really not a bad swap up. And then, I mean, teams can't game plan for that. You got a game plan for 2 quarterbacks when you game planning for Texas because you don't know who's going to come out and start. I think that's a good problem to have. Is it not? I'm just saying. So we talking Liberty probably just going to run the table over there where they at, man. Hey, they looking good. Cooley, quarterback, going crazy. Penn State, like I said, Drew Aller, he has to play consistent. he got to start playing more consistent and showing more consistency because Penn State right now is kind of looking like Oklahoma State should be right now, right? But as long as Drew Aller takes care of the ball, makes the right decisions, and is able to pass the ball when needed to and make the right reads, I think Penn State can do the damn thing because you can't keep the defense cannot keep saving Penn State. It's just not going to happen. Drew Aller, you got to step up. In that way. But I'm sure the coaches over there, they'll get them right, and they'll figure this out, man. James Franklin will figure it out over there. All right. So Dan Lannon in Oregon right now, people saying, my co-host Shad is like they haven't proved to him just yet what's going on, to their expectations of Oregon. But Oregon is sneaky, man. They are really sneaky, yo. And Dan Lannon and that coaching staff over there seem to be game planning for each team. See, some of these teams are going in to the games and they don't seem to be game planning for their opponents. And I think that's what Oregon is doing. They're game planning for each opponent, man. And that's why sometimes that could bite you in the butt, right? Even when you're playing a team that's less than you, right? And everybody game plans, right? Because let me explain what I'm talking about. Everybody game plans for their opponents, right? But what I'm saying is when even though you game plan as an offense or defensive coordinator, when you're playing certain teams, you give players the green light to do certain things, right? And sometimes players make the wrong reads. So, for instance, if you're a defensive coordinator, they're giving your ends the green light to go inside or outside. And sometimes going inside, you give up outside contain, which can bust up in a big play. So there you go. That's what I mean. For example, you know what I mean? Your quarterback having a green light to make a certain call on a certain down. You know what I'm saying? Because you're playing a certain team. That happens. It's realistic. And don't tell me it's not because it is. All right. Now, if you don't agree, you just don't agree. But that it is what it is, and that's what I meant by that. Okay. Now when we talking like Ohio State, they're running away with it right now, man. I honestly do not see. I just don't. I don't see nobody really giving them a problem right now besides Oregon. Oregon is going to give them a run for their money, man. I honestly do. I can't wait to see that game. That is going to be a good game. That is when one of those guys got to lose, and I just don't know if it's going to be them or not. All right, and then you got and then we have Indiana and Indiana, what Cincinnati and them is doing over there. We'll probably pull up their schedule here in a little bit, but I just don't see Indiana taking any L's, man. Like right now, I'll have to get their schedule pulled up real quick for y'all. But man, Indiana's balling out there. Iowa State, Rocco Beck, the running back over there, he's able to run the load. And Rocco Beck, all he got to do is take care of the ball. And that's exactly what he's been doing. And that's exactly what I've been giving him a lot of praise on what he's doing because that's what he does. Like he's just a good system quarterback. He does exactly what his offensive coordinator wants him to do. So he's an extension of the offensive coordinator on the field. They work so well together that the offense just rolls so fluid. And it looks good, man. It just looks good. And then that defense comes to play. Like Iowa State, man, they're a force to be reckoned with. They really are. BYU, man, BYU, I really don't know too much about BYU, so I'm not gonna get out here and speak on BYU. I'm still doing my digging and my research on BYU, but shout out to them staying undefeated. Now I gotta look into this team now and see what they're doing well and what they're not doing well, and see if they have any weaknesses. But right now, BYU just seem to be putting their foot on everybody's neck that come across them. Pitt, I know what Pitt's doing. Pitt is just playing well for their coach. They have bought into their system. They have bought into the philosophy that's going around in Pittsburgh right now. I don't know. When you get rid of some players, right? Some players just think they're so good that they want to run the locker room and lead a certain way. And sometimes being a leader in a certain way can also hamper your team. I don't know what's going on, but they seem to totally 360 their season. They're almost at their total wins from last year. Also, Pittsburgh is, which is a good thing. All right, now they're balling for Pat Narduzzi. So, I mean, that is all. I'm not going to say that it's all coaching because those players are showing up and they're doing a great job. And week in and week out, it seems to be another emerging person off of that defense or off of that offense of Pittsburgh, which makes them dangerous because you're seeing somebody else step up each and every week for that Pittsburgh team. And I think that's what makes Pittsburgh so dangerous because, when they play West Virginia, you seen Eli Holston do his thing. You seen Eli Holston carry that a couple of times. Then you see the defense make plays. And then you seen defense make plays in that UNC game to hold them down, turn the ball over, and, get turnovers on downs, forcing them to punt and stuff like that. So, and that's what you're seeing with Pitt. Like somebody's always stepping up week in and week out, and that's the makings of a very good football team. So that's what makes Pitt dangerous. And they can be beat. No, they don't have the over the top talent, but they got the right talent and they got the right personnel there. And what Pat Narduzzi is doing is good. So I got to give him a round of applause for that. Same thing with it seems to be the same way with Miami too. You know what I mean? They have bought into that system. They believe in the system that's going there, that philosophy with all those guys coming from the transfer portal, coming from this team and that team and being pieced together. And they're bought into that. Now, them being down by Cal, it was 10-35. I don't think we give them enough of praise for that. Like, you could put this on the side of saying, oh, it was Cal, an unranked team, but we've seen unranked teams take down teams. We've seen an unranked Minnesota at home take down a number 11 Southern California. We've seen that happen. So it happened. We seen Vandy beat Alabama. We've seen this. So we can't necessarily go into college football and say anymore that because a team is ranked or a team is unranked, that this team doesn't deserve to beat this team or this team can't beat this team, right? You just can't do that. We can't do that anymore. With this transfer portal being like opening up the way that they could pick players out of there for their specific skill set and bring them into their offense or defense and fit them in and put them in place is why I strongly believe is why we're seeing the competition level rise up. And people can say, oh, well, it's something, it's this, it's that. No, it's even in the playing field. And it's obvious to see that. So for a team to continue winning, no matter how they win, I don't care how they win, it's a great thing. And we should definitely look into that, and we should get behind that as fans of college football, as coaches, as players. Get behind that because that's what's going on here. A win is a win. I don't care who it's against, and I don't care how you do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just seen, and now we're probably going to say Alabama doesn't deserve to be in the top 5. That's like, why? How come? Like, why? Because they lost to a Vanderbilt team. Vanderbilt probably could give somebody else problems. I honestly said, and I'm going to say it again one more time earlier in this show, that if Georgia plays a mid-tier team in the SEC, I think they may have probably lost coming off of that battle that they played against, that they just had played with Bama. And I know I said it just in the last video, y'all, but that's real. It's a real thing. When you come off playing a tough team like Bama and Georgia, and then they go into it playing another team like a Vanderbilt, which is a physical football team. If you've seen them play Virginia Tech, then you would know that they're very resilient and they're very physical because they beat a decent Virginia Tech team, right? And then they were able to hold up against that Virginia Tech defense, which harasses people, absolutely harasses people. And what we see Miami do, is crazy. Like, and I know I'm bouncing around a little bit, but stay with me though. Stay with me. Because what Miami did coming back from 35-10 late in the game in the second half, cool, calm, collective, stuck to their game plan, made plays going along the way. Cam Ward did. First of all, he's amazing. He's hands down because he's a quarterback, and I think Travis Hunter's right behind him. He has to be, but just because Cam Ward's a quarterback and he actually has the control of the game in his hands, you got to put Cam Ward at the top of your Heisman candidate list right now. It just has to be. I don't care. Like, yes, it was a Cal team, but that Cal team is very good. It's a very good Cal team, and they're going to give other people problems and probably upset some more people in the in the ACC. It's just going to happen. Army and Navy, they're balling out. They're both undefeated, sitting at 5-0 right now. I can't wait till that game happen, but they're balling. And like, and back to what I was talking about, as far as when you come off them tough games like that and you go in to play a decent opponent. Like, I think if Georgia would have had Missouri after that Bama game, I think Missouri is probably able to beat them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting at with that. Like, it's tough to do that. But let's take a look at these rankings, man, because I've been going on 20 minutes talking about the undefeateds and a little bit of these teams. And these are the rankings right here. These are old rankings. These are not updated rankings, but because the new list is like they're talking about what team they think should be there, what and where they should move. Actually, I think I got it pulled up a little bit. I think it was Sports Illustrated that had it right there. Sports Illustrated had made a little list, and they kind of talked about some of the things. And I'll pull it up just because I'm authentic like that. I normally don't like to do that because it's kind of like taking their words and putting it, but this is kind of what they got going on here. Okay. And this is Sports Illustrated. They're saying their college football rankings, and this was just today, about a couple hours ago, that they came out with this right here. And what they're saying is Kentucky should be at number 25. They should go down 2 spots or whatever. And I don't agree with that because Kentucky, like, all right, Kentucky's good, man. I think they have a very, very good defense. Brock Vandagriff they got to make plays. Our offense got to step up and make plays. And I think that offense will get rolling. All right. And they were off. They were off, but, to have them at 25, okay, cool. Arkansas doing what they just did yesterday and taking down a very high potent offense in Tennessee. Now, Oklahoma exposed that Tennessee team a little bit. And I'm saying that simply because it's the truth, right? Whether we want to believe it or not. It's just not me speculating. If you know football and you look at football, the way that Oklahoma played Tennessee, they exposed some things and some vulnerabilities within that offense of Tennessee and what Nico is able to do and ain't able to do, right? So Arkansas built on that. Bobby Petrino got his offense in the court, and they got it rolling, and they said, this is how you attack that defense. And they defense stepped up. So Arkansas being at number 24, I think is fair. You know what I mean? I think it's fair. Anywhere between 20 to 25 is like the same rankings, right? It really don't matter. It's just a number at that point. But I think that's okay. Arkansas is at number 24. They move up 3 spots. All right. Tulane. Being out where Tulane is, man, Tulane almost they gave some teams some problems. They probably should have beat Kansas State. They moved up 17 spots. I think they deserve to do that, man. Tulane should absolutely be in the top 25. Shout out to Tulane being at number 23. I agree with that. Now, this ain't the official rankings, but I'm just kind of just going through it and just agreeing or disagreeing. Missouri getting their tail kicked the way they did, I think exposed a lot about that team. It showed how much they're missing. Going down 8 spots ain't enough for Missouri. I'm just being honest. Them being in the SEC or not. I know I just said that, if they played a team like Georgia, but I'm just saying, like, y'all lost badly. I mean, badly. Texas A&M was ranked at number 25 when they went in there, and you're in the top 10, and they dropped down 8 spots. And to me, I'm just saying, I think Kentucky need to be. Kentucky probably should be in front of them. If you're gonna move them down, move them to number 25. Put Kentucky at 22. That's just me. That's just me. You ain't gotta agree with me. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want. Kansas State being at number 21 right now, after the loss that they took to BYU. I'll see where BYU's at. They just moved down 1 spot. Boise State, they got the best running back in college football right now. They took a loss to a Oregon team, which should be at number 5 right now, sitting to me. Oregon should be number 5. A win is a win in college football. I'm gonna keep saying that because that's what I stand on. Yes, I am a toddler when it comes to college football, the research and talking on it. And maybe that's a good thing because I got fresh new eyes looking at this sport and researching the sport differently and then digging into the history and what things used to be because it's changed. It's changed. It is what it is. And I'll keep saying that to the I should just make every show's title college football has changed and then going and talking about it because it has. It has. It just has. All right. Iowa State moving up 3 spots, going to number 19, I think is kind of like saying that they don't have it. And they do. They got two good running backs. They got a good system quarterback. They're playing, they're bought in, and they think they got a defense that could just hang with the best of them out there. Honestly, under a well-coached program, I think that they should be up a little bit higher, if you ask me. Maybe in the top 15. All right, that's me. SMU just showed that they got the discipline to get the job done. I didn't think that they had the discipline, but they do. And SMU proved me wrong. And I must come out and I must say that SMU deserves to probably be maybe up a little higher, or maybe up a little higher in the teams. I say 14, right? Right. We'll put them right above. Right. We gotta put Iowa State in front of SMU. But I do think that SMU is a very potent offense, and their defense is coming to play. And as long as they stay disciplined in a game, they'll win. But if you can get SMU off their rocker, being disciplined, I think that's what hurts them. All right, Oklahoma being at number 17, losing to Tennessee, and Tennessee losing to Arkansas. I think they should be right where they at, somewhere right where they at with 17. I'm not mad at that right there. Louisville being number 16, losing to SMU the way that they did. SMU totally exposed that team, and I think teams now have the recipe to take down Louisville. I think they got it. I think SMU exposed them in that way and how to beat them. But Louisville is a good sound program, so I ain't mad at it. Whatever. It is what it is. 15 LSU. LSU got pieces, but they're in that same realm, and they're going to go with the running game, but they're in that same realm as SC right now, and they got to get a little bit tougher. LSU, Indiana being at number 14, they're in the Big Ten. If this is any, let's call it what it is, right? Let's just say what it is. They're going off strength of schedule. There's a little bit of biasness with this, right? Because they just wasn't ranked, right? They wasn't ranked at all. They moved up 2 spots. But if this is any other Big Ten team sitting right now, whether they deserve to be in the top 10 or not, but you're 6-0 overall. You're 3-0 in the Big Ten. You have the best record in the Big Ten. This is any other Big Ten team, they're in the top. But just keep sleeping on Indiana, man. Just keep sleeping on them. I got to give a shout out to them. But Indiana Hoosier fans, I got your back. Even though I'm not a Hoosier fan, but I'm just saying, if that's any other Big Ten team that's sitting at 6-0 right now, halfway through the college football season, y'all putting them in the top 10. So why is Indiana sitting at 14? Or why do you think Indiana should be at 14? These are just predictions and spots. SC being at 13, don't think that happened. Don't think that's happening. Nope. Totally exposed. PJ Fleck knew exactly what to do to stop SC. I knew the fact that SC being more of a Pac-12 team, and that really transitioned over to the Big 12 and that power running the ball. If LSU would have decided to run the ball, and they should have won that game, then LSU would have probably beat them. They would probably beat SC, and SC can pass the ball. Miller Moss can absolutely slang that thing all around the yard, but you need a running game in the Big Ten. And SC, to me, they got the passing game down pat. If SC can establish a running game, a good running game, SC can still get things pop in the Big Ten, and that makes them dangerous because of the fact they can pass. And I think that's what you're seeing with Indiana. Indiana can run the ball, but they also can pass. Ohio State can run the ball, but they also can pass. Oregon can run the ball, but they also can pass. Penn State can, without a doubt, run the ball, but will Drew Aller stay consistent with the pass? That is why you're seeing that, and that's why those teams are undefeated, and that's how you got to be in the Big Ten. You got to be able to do that, and in the SEC too. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to. Like running backs, I don't know why running backs were ever disrespected or knocked down in the NFL, because you got to be able to run the ball. Texas A&M, huge win. The way that they just put it on a top 10 team, yes, they lost to Notre Dame, but I think they wanted Notre Dame to be up and if Notre Dame is in the top 10 right now, Texas A&M should be right behind them. Texas A&M is a force to be reckoned with in the SEC. They look scary. They look scary. They look like a dark horse in the SEC. They look scary. I think the way that Texas A&M dominated that Missouri game, if that team shows up every week from here on out and they stay hungry like that behind this young quarterback, man, I'm telling you, Texas A&M, I think they could do it. I think they could run the table. I honestly do, man. Clemson, Clay Company, they got it together. Dabo Swinney, he got his team. He didn't need the portal, and he's proven that. He has proven that to everybody out there. You can go in the portal and get your pieces if you want to, but I don't need the portal. I don't want the portal. I got my guys, and his team has fully bought in. And I think, and for that fact that he didn't go into the portal and he didn't lose much to the portal, and he's bringing in people, I think Clemson just solidified themselves for the next couple of seasons in college football, y'all. I honestly do. I honestly do. I feel like that. I do. And I'm standing on that. I think they solidified themselves for the next couple of years. Miami being at number 10. Nah, man, move them up. Move them up, man. Move them up. They got the best quarterback in college football. And as long as Cam Ward is there, right, that as long as that defense plays like they want to play in crunch time, when it's crunch time, I don't see nobody beating Miami, man. I just don't see nobody doing it. I don't. He is the best quarterback in college football. He is a defensive coordinator's nightmare right now because he's so calm, so cool, so collected. You can't mess with him. Him and Shador Sanders, or you can't rattle them guys. You cannot rattle Shador. Well, you can get the Shador and get off his spot, but you can't do that with Cam. Shador get a little bit of happy feet, and that's the only difference between him and Cam Ward. Cam Ward just does not. It's different, man. It's different. He's different, man. I'm saying Penn State, Drew Aller being at number 9. I'm not mad at that. Drew Aller, you got to prove something, man. You got to prove something. Oregon being at number 8. I think people sleeping on them. I think they sleeping on them. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's all right though. Notre Dame being at number 7. Losing to an unranked team and then going to being at number 7. I mean, look, losing to a good MAC team, NIU, AI, but their record is what it is right now. Your record says who you are, right? If that's the case, NIU, I think, is 0-1 in the MAC and are 3-2 overall, and Notre Dame lost to them. It was a close game, but Notre Dame had lost to them. And I'm not saying it in anything. Texas A&M, they beat Texas A&M. They deserve to be in front of Texas A&M before that, but it is what it is, man. College football is crazy. Tennessee dropping 2, number 6. They lost to Arkansas. I think they're going to keep moving. For some reason. Ole Miss being at 5. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that because I think they're one of the best in college football. Georgia being at 4. I think Georgia going to run into a couple of buzzsaws, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. Alabama being at number 3. Definitely not mad at that. Not giving up on Bama. Ohio State being at number 2. Not mad at that at all. Not mad. Texas at 1. All right, cool. Undefeated still in the SEC. That's the bar. Cool. Shout out to Texas, man. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. I've been kicking it on here for half. And I just wanted to go through some of these rankings or whatnot, man. And let y'all see it. You know what I mean? Somehow, sometimes we research things and just get y'all a little visual on it. That's all. But look, salute to y'all. Have a great NFL Sunday. Y'all thing out there. Enjoy it. Peace. I love this, man. I love it.